As a parent, you intend to love hard. They grow in your stomach for 9 months. You give birth to them. You love them. You care for them. You teach them. You nurse them. You guide them. And I've done that with all 3 of my children. Only to have other people take them away from me. To look at Crystal for the first time, it was like, wow, I did this. I gave a life. I would wake her up in the middle of the night just to look at her, play with her, notice everything about her. That night, I was having difficulty sleeping. That was her first time out to a party. A friend of Crystal that she was with called me and said, something happened to Chrissy.
18-year-old Shamir Crystal Roache was described as a dreamer, a kind, loving, generous girl whose life was snuffed out through a senseless act of violence. She was gunned down fleeing a fight at a nightclub on March 20th, 2002.
I couldn't get to see her because she was shot in her head. She got a bullet in her head. So I didn't believe it at first, even though it's been told to me. I just kept saying, no, that can't be real. No, it can't be real. I must have asked him about 30 times if he's sure. A few days after, then I had to go, finally have a look at her. You know, seeing her all wrapped up, only her face is showing. So she's wrapped from head to toe, because it's a head wound, so they cover all things and just show her face. Her pretty face. It was very hard to leave. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm leaving her. Crystal's siblings, they were so devastating. They were so distraught. It was hard to see them suffering, and I can't do anything about it. You know, we would talk about it, or we would cry together. I mean, they were kids, and how does kids really deal with a sibling that they born and grow with and see every day of their life? And then now that was like ripped away from, it's like ripping out someone's heart. I know I keep a lot of my emotion inside, but I think for me, that's the best way I know how to handle my situation. Yannick was very smart for his age. As a child, every car that passed, he can tell you what type, what model, what year. So he was very wise.
For the second time in 9 months, 37-year-old Carol Roache has lost a child to gun violence. Her daughter, Crystal, was shot outside a Rexdale club, and just 2 days ago, on Christmas Eve, her 18-year-old son, Yannick, was murdered outside a high-rise apartment at Jane and Finch.
I got a phone call that Yannick was shot. So when they let me into the hospital room where he was already dead. He was already dead. They said he died instantly. Couldn't believe his lifeless body just laying there. I don't even have a word to say. Like, it was just, again, unbelievable. Like, there's no words. One minute they're here fine, the next minute they're not. So my life was like so empty. Like, there was so much things missing in that area. It's like nothing meant anything to me anymore. And then my third son, Jamal, it was just very hard for him emotionally, very, very hard for him. He was lonely. He would look at me and say, "Mom, we don't have a big family anymore. It's just you and me now." So I always say to him, "Promise you'll never leave me." He always believed that he was gonna die when he reached 18 as well. So he deliberately just never celebrated a birthday after that. I mean, can you imagine being a kid and have that weight on your shoulders, thinking that you're gonna die, going through life, going to school, playing with your friends or what have you, but have this burden of on your shoulders, thinking that you're gonna die just like your siblings when you reach 18. That's a heavy weight for any child to carry. My relationship with Jamal was very, very special. We have a bond so great as mother and son. I think because I had more time with him, we never end a conversation without saying, "I love you." He had come and spent the whole entire day with me. I cooked dinner for both of us. Mashed potato with gravy and barbecue chicken, one of his favorite. He was enjoying it so much. He was like, "Mom, I love when you cook." It was time for him to leave. Then I watched him go down the hallway to the stairs where he exited out to go to catch the bus. My last words to Jamal was to walk good and that I love you.
Described as a genuine person who always kept his word, Jamal Roache had big dreams. Those dreams ended last night when he was shot and killed at a strip mall just shy of his 27th birthday. Jamal was the last and youngest of 3 siblings from the same family who lost their lives to gun violence.
My door knocked, and it was a detective. And he said, "Jamal was killed last night at 11:30. And the police already identified him, so I didn't get to see him till after, when the funeral home received him from the coroner. Only 5 minutes though, because they have to put him on ice. So I hugged him and kissed him and told him not to worry. He'll be fine. I surprise myself sometimes the way I bear these things and go on with life and not break. At times I don't even know who to mourn for or how to feel. You never get over a situation like this where all three of your kids have been gunned down. You can never get over something like this, but you can get through it. I'll always carry these feelings and these memories of my children, Crystal, Yannick, and Jamal.